Welcome to Be Truly Heard with me, coach and voice expert Anne Leatherland. If you're a woman in business looking to speak with authority, warmth and authenticity, this is the podcast for you. We'll explore valuable personal growth strategies alongside vocal skills, so you can overcome confidence barriers and communicate what's inside. Your voice matters. It's time to be truly heard. Hello and welcome back to Be Truly Heard. I'm Anne Leatherland, voice trainer and coach, and in today's episode, as a part of our series theme of taking up space, I'm going to explore what it really means to go from strength to strategy. When we talk about strength, many people think of it as physical muscle or resilience in the face of challenges. You may have your own ideas about what strength means. Just have a think about what words are coming to mind. Physical, mental, personal, which is it? Of course, all of these matter, but there are two kinds of strength I've spoken about in previous episodes that I'd particularly like you to think about today. So here's a reminder. One is inner strength. So that's the strength that's at the core. It's that quiet self-belief that helps you to stand your ground, even when your voice shakes or you don't feel quite as certain as you'd like to. The other is vocal strength, the power that grows when you understand how your body, yourself, and your voice work together. By yourself, I mean the inner you, the essence of the person that you are. That's ultimately where your message comes from and where the strength that you need to use your voice well and get that message across will come from. So these strengths are not separate. They feed each other. And when they're used together with energy and intention, they become strategy. Strategy, after all, is about choice. That's when you stop simply reacting to situations and instead begin to choose how you want to come across in order to get that message across. You choose what impression you want to leave and the outcomes, more to the point, that you want to create. There's nothing cynical in this. Performers do it all the time. When we're speaking on a stage or in a meeting or to a potential new client, we are in a way performing. And I say this advisedly because a performance is not a false thing. It can be a very true thing. I see a performance as an enhanced version of who we are. It comes from truth. It comes from self. And having worked with a lot of actors, I know this, that they strive to do that. Singers do the same. Otherwise, what they put across doesn't seem very real. So inner strength doesn't always feel like boldness or certainty. That's the next point. Often it shows up more as persistence, quiet courage, that decision to keep going or to speak when you'd normally stay silent, for instance. Thinking back, my guest Annie Mood spoke of this last year in episode 15 of Be Truly Heard. And I've also come across many remarkable women since then who have done this. Just think for yourself about a time when you were nervous, but somehow still found a way to share your perspective. It takes a lot of inner strength. It takes a lot of inner strength to speak out when everyone else in the room may have a different viewpoint. For women in business, inner strength, therefore, is vital. Very often, we hold back from giving our viewpoint because we think that we won't be heard or that people won't listen to us. And unfortunately, that's the experience of a number of the women that I've worked with. Our inner strength is what allows us to keep showing up, even when the environment isn't always welcoming to our voices. What about vocal strength? Well, vocal strength isn't just about being loud, she said loudly on purpose in case you were wondering. It's about having control, presence, in other words, showing up as who you are, and stamina. Stamina is something that the voice as a physical system needs so that it can keep going after many hours of work. Part of that is also understanding when the voice is tired so that you can rest it. And we also need stamina personally, or if you want to say it a different way, resilience. When your voice is well supported by breath and working effectively with your body, it can carry both authority and warmth. People listen differently when they sense that steadiness. Over time, as you develop habits of clear tone, controlled pace, and expressive variety, your vocal strength becomes a resource that you can rely on in every room, from the board meeting to the networking event. Strength on its own, then, is powerful. But when you apply it with purpose and you make choices, it becomes strategy. Let's say, for instance, you are about to pitch your ideas in a meeting. Inner strength will help you to overcome the nerves and believe in your message. Vocal strength, and I must say skill, will carry that message so it lands clearly. Strategy is when you decide, I want to open with impact, highlight these 3 key points, and use my voice to draw attention to them, bringing in the audience and helping them to appreciate and receive the most important message. You could, I suppose, think about it as though you are getting on the same wavelength as the audience. So it's the intentional use of strengths to achieve your business outcome. Think about a situation where, with the right skills, you might be able to do this, or where you have actually done it. If it's the latter thing, then what was it you did that made it work? I'm not being false in this. It's about using what you have to the best advantage. So here are 4 top tips for actually coming across with strength, but using that strategically. First of all, use vocal variety. That means using pacing, pauses, tone shifts to highlight what matters most. Will you always have a clear tone that's forthright like I'm using now? Or will you sometimes be a little bit more soft so that you can get a point across in a more confidential way? You can learn to change the quality and the tone of your voice, by the way. Secondly, show up in your values. The first thing about this is to actually examine your values. It takes some personal work and decide what they are, both for yourself and for your brand. If you work for a corporation or a business, they will have their own values. So it's noticing how your values fit in with that. Strategy works best when it's authentic. When your words, voice, and self are all pointing in the same direction, then you're far more compelling. And this has integrity that shows, and people sense it. We can bring our personal and brand values in line to do this. Number 4, reflect afterwards. Did you create the impact that you wanted? If not, then what might you change or strengthen for next time? If people give you feedback, by the way, take the positive things and jot them down. We all need to look at our successes sometimes. If there is criticism or advice or things to improve, then think about whether that person's advice is worth hearing. What position are they in to give you that advice? If so, then frame it with positive intention so you can be even better next time. I've covered a lot of these individual points in previous podcast episodes, actually. So if you want more detail on any of them, I'll put links in the show notes so that you can go back and either remind yourself or listen to them for the first time. Overall, then, strength is not just about holding your ground. It's about recognizing what's already there, what's already within you, developing the skills that allow your voice to flourish, and then choosing to use those strengths with intention. That's strategy. And strategy, as we've said, is so important. As a businesswoman, you deserve to be heard not only for what you know, but also for who you are, what you have to bring. Inner strength and vocal strength combined make you memorable, respected, and influential. Thank you for joining me today on Be Truly Heard. If this episode has sparked anything in you, do share it with another woman in business, and she might be able to use that as a reminder of her own strength. I'd also love to know what you think about this topic, so email me, anne@anneleatherland.co.uk. That's anne@anneleatherland.co.uk. And if you'd like to take this further, remember that my Be Truly Heard training program is designed to help you to bring into line your voice, body, and self so you can move confidently from strength to strategy. Until next time, then, keep speaking up, keep standing strong, and keep being truly heard. Thanks for listening to Be Truly Heard. If something landed with you today, share it with a friend or leave a review. It really helps more women to find their voice. Want to go deeper? Join my email list for exclusive tips, resources, and invitations to events. You'll find the link in the show notes. Until next time, remember, your voice is powerful. Let's make sure it's truly heard.